Hi, I'm Natalie Andrijancic, and I work with the City of Nelson as a planner. And we are working collaboratively with the fire and rescue services to update regulations in our city that can help us fire smart our community. So we're going to be doing that in two ways. So number one, we're going to be updating the development permit regulations, and we're also going to be proposing to implement a citywide regulation about vegetation, which I'll explain in a bit. In the Local Government Act, it gives municipalities the authority to implement development permits for natural and hazardous lands, such as wildfire. So in the City of Nelson, we have an existing development permit area, and we are looking to update that area. The reason that we're updating it is to protect the loss of life and structures in the event of a wildfire. Currently, those regulations apply mostly to properties that are on the edge of the city and are adjacent to forested lands. So why are we updating the regulations? Our current regulations have not been updated in 6 years, and so they no longer reflect the most recent Fire Smart recommendations. So that's one of the reasons. And the other reason is that we've had lots of research showing us that updating these regulations can make a home more resistant to fire in the event of a wildfire or in an ember shower. So those are mainly why we're updating it. So what are the major changes in Development Permit Area 3? So we have 3 changes that we're proposing. One is requiring that people do vegetation management on their property within 2 zones. So 1.5 meters of their home and the remainder of their property, which is usually within 10 meters. The second is updating our building material requirement. Right now we do have some, but we're adding additional regulations in line with the Fire Smart guidelines. For example, fire-resistant decking or 1-hour fire-resistant material, so that if your deck started on fire, so that your deck wouldn't start on fire and start your home on fire. And then the third one is actually requiring that a covenant be placed on title, alerting future property owners that they are in Development Permit Area 3, as well as the landscaping requirements that are in place for them. And then the last regulation that we're proposing is a citywide regulation, and this is new. And that is really that we don't want people to plant evergreen trees or bushes within 5 feet of their home. So that will include cedars and junipers. So all existing vegetation on your property will remain. However, the Fire Smart ambassadors will probably encourage you to replace those with more fire-resistant materials. And that's just because in the event of a wildfire ember shower, the whole city is really at risk, and having combustible vegetation really close to your structure isn't a great idea. So we're out here tonight just getting feedback on that, and we're hoping that people will be receptive. Development Services is hoping to have these regulations in place by the end of the summer. However, if anybody wants to provide feedback or has any questions about it, please contact Development Services, and we're happy to go through that with you. You can email us at development@nelson.ca, or you can go on the website and submit an email request. I think that there's an understanding that if you don't live on the very edge of the city, that you aren't at risk for your home catching on fire in the event of a wildfire, and that is generally true. But if we're faced with a wildfire ember shower, the whole city is at risk, and so I think that we need to start rethinking our landscaping and some of our building materials to align more with the Fire Smart principles.